The state of Missouri issues new guidance on contact tracing, allowing health departments to have residents do their own if the departments become overwhelmed. I'm Zach Dodge with the story.
And we'll look at changes at local hospitals aimed at protecting expecting mothers.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Expectant mothers are feeling the strain of COVID-19. This is KOAM News at 6. Both Mercy and Freeman hospitals have strict policies in place to help protect pregnant mothers and their newborns. KOAM's Kate Kelly shares the experience of one mom who went through giving birth at Freeman.
Being a mom is hard enough on its own, but factor in a pregnancy at the start of a pandemic and things get even more complicated.
We got to see our first ultrasound with the kids, but after that, they no longer could come. And so only my husband could attend. And then right at the beginning of March, they stopped allowing him to come, which was a little scary because I was a high-risk pregnancy.
At her final appointment, Olson's doctor decided to induce. Things were happening fast.
They told me up front, they said, when you go into the hospital, you have to go with your husband or baby father, and you won't come out until you come out together.
Both Mercy and Freeman have strict rules about visitors. Only one person is permitted to stay during the delivery. This wasn't Olson's first pregnancy, but there were definitely some changes she picked up on right away. For starters, both she and her husband were tested for COVID before being allowed into the delivery room. Doctors say the coronavirus can be dangerous for moms.
1 to 3% of pregnant patients will be admitted to the ICU. Now, having said that, it sounds a little scary. I think, that means that greater than 90% of pregnant people will recover without hospitalization or, preterm delivery or anything like that.
Samantha made her debut on March 30th as COVID began to worsen. Olson gave updates to her family through social media and took all the advice doctors gave her, wearing a mask and staying home away from large gatherings.
I really advise that you take the advice and you run with it because they can't force you to do anything, but they're advising, and they are really smart about it because I have seen infants catch it, and you don't know how they're going to react.
In Joplin, Kate Kelly, KOAM News.
For mothers concerned about possibly transmitting COVID-19 through breast milk, doctors do still recommend breastfeeding, saying there are many beneficial vitamins, nutrients, even antibodies that help boost a baby's immune system. Doug Heddy joining us now with our first look at weather. Another chilly evening in store for us, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be a cold night once again tonight, but we had really the past couple days have been very nice as we were into the 50s, mid-50s for us today, so a fantastic day. Clear skies, yeah, it's going to get a little bit chilly, but nothing's going on here across the Central Plains. Any clouds, you have to travel off to our east across really the eastern third of the country. And if you look out to the west, not a ton is going on, and that's going to be our weather as we work through the next couple days. In fact, we're going to warm up a bit over the next few days. We're cooling back mid to upper 40s across the region. It looks like eventually later on tonight we'll get down near 30. So it is going to be cold. We've kind of had these light westerly winds, southwesterly winds all day long, switching around a little bit to the northwest. But it's going to be calm tonight as we slide back through the 40s, 30s down near 30. Warming up this week. We're going to look at our next storm system all coming up here in just a bit.
Doug, thank you. New state guidance in Missouri could mean some COVID-19 patients will do their own contact tracing. The high volume of COVID cases sweeping the nation is impacting county health departments working to track down anyone who is exposed. New Missouri guidance would shift department efforts if contact tracing becomes overwhelming. KOAM's Zach Dodge has details.
Renee Bonds is one of around a dozen contact tracers at the Newton County Health Department. And right now, they're seeing a spike in cases, which is taking a toll.
It can get really stressful, especially, being a nurse. One of our goals is, we want to do our very best for our clients and our patients. And so when we feel like we're getting behind, we feel like we're not helping them like we want to.
Contact tracers in Jasper County are under similar stress.
We're usually here by 7:30 in the morning, and it's oftentimes 7 at night or later before we get out of here.
But new guidance from the state health department could change that. If local departments become too overwhelmed and their community has uncontrolled spread, they can shift their contact tracers to case investigations and have residents who have tested positive make those calls to their close contacts themselves, requesting that their contacts self-quarantine.
I don't see it as a huge difference. I think in many cases that's about as effective as if we actually issue a quarantine order.
Both counties are still doing their own contact tracing, but they're leaving the idea on the table.
If our numbers could continue to increase like we have seen over the past several weeks, we will probably get to a point that's where that's just reality.
The CARES money that is helping to support contact tracers, that goes away January 1st. And then there's another contract from the state. Those funds will last probably close to the summertime. We will then probably have to turn to the public and have their help once that happens, if there's no funding replacements.
In Jasper and Newton counties, Zach Dodge, KUAM News.
For any health department that makes this shift, the state expects them to go back to the usual contact tracing once the numbers in the area are reduced. St. Louis and Buchanan counties have already made that shift. A Diamond, Missouri man who allegedly killed his 88-year-old grandfather takes an Elford plea. An Elford plea means Lee Yang doesn't admit guilt, but recognizes that the prosecution has enough evidence to prove him guilty. With the plea, Yang gets 20 years in the Department of Corrections on a second-degree murder charge. Yang had originally been charged with second-degree murder, armed criminal action, and possession of controlled substance for the 2015 shooting. Joplin Police Department is asking for your help tracking down a bank robbery suspect. Robbery happened on Saturday at noon in the Southwest Missouri Bank on North Range Line. They say this suspect, dressed in all black, walked up to the teller, demanded money. The suspect ran from the scene. Police were unable to track them down. If you have any information about the suspect, you're asked to call the Joplin Police Department. Joplin City Council will take final action tonight, deciding whether to change the city's trash service. It's down to two bids between Joplin's current provider, Republic Services, and a bid from Waste Corporation of America. WCA comes in with a lower trash service bid of $11.38 as opposed to $11.50 from Republic. Recycling services, the Republic would be $10.97. WCA's bid for recycling would be half that at $5.25. Now, for residents opposed to the switch, customers worry about negative customer service reviews for WCA.
Has Republic tarnished their appearance? No. If we go to WCA and our alleys and our streets are full of trash, is that going to help our appearance? Doesn't Joplin deserve the best? We deserve an American company. We deserve to keep those people employed at Republic and keep the service as is. If it's not broken, why fix it?
We'll have more details and an update on City Council's decision tonight on KOAM News at 10. Still ahead, a Carl Junction student athlete is making waves at the Division I level. Going to hear from Katie Scott about her success at Grand Canyon University. Also, Kansas City Chiefs survived a tough challenge from the Denver Broncos last night. Going to have post-game reaction next.
Former Carl Junction High School basketball standout Katie Scott is in her first season at Grand Canyon University in Phoenix. Now, it hasn't taken her long to make a little noise and show why she got the opportunity at the Division I level. Katie Scott is already making a name for herself at Grand Canyon University.
She's a kid that can go down in the history books here. I truly believe that, and kind of leave her legacy at a place. And that's exciting for her just 3 games in to know that she has that capability at the Division I level.
The style of play is just so contagious, and even on the bench, I'm having a time of my life.
The former Carl Junction standout leads GCU in scoring. Scott is averaging 20 points and 6 rebounds through the team's first 3 games, including 29 points in her last game on Saturday.
We've given her the green light from the get-go, and I think for her that's just kind of a comfort factor.
I have been given the green light, which a lot of freshmen don't always get that. So it's kind of been a confidence boost, and it has been an incentive to work harder, because I want to prove that I can do everything she says I can.
She's really done a really good job of embracing that role of we need you to score, probably not like a typical freshman. Just pick up where you left off at Carl Junction, and she's done that really well.
Scott is already opening eyes across the league.
She's no longer our hidden secret. Whoever gets the Katie Scott assignment might be a little nervous on the scout day, on film day, when they see everything she can do, because you really have to guard her all areas of the court.
While success has come quickly for the freshman, Scott knows she's far from her ceiling and there's plenty of work to do over the next 4 years.
With the tough games coming up, I just want to continue to prove myself and, like Coach Miller said, prove that I have that versatility. I don't want to be a one-trick pony. I don't want to be easy to guard.
Just the expansiveness of her game is going to be really dangerous for the next 4 years, and she's going to get even better. I mean, she's already at a high level right now, but you're going to get better as you start to play and get used to this style and the college game.
Scott and GCU will be back on the floor on Wednesday, hosting Northern Arizona. Missouri Southern's Carly Turnbull has been named the MIAA Women's Basketball Player of the Week. Turnbull helped the Lions go 2-0 last week, picking up wins over Northeastern State and Rogers State. Now, in those two games, Turnbull posted 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. She's averaging 15 points per game on the season. Now, the Lions are 3-3 and will be back on the floor on Thursday, hosting Northwest Missouri State. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Denver Broncos on Sunday night 22-16. And with that win, Kansas City gets to 11-1 and has clinched an AFC spot in the AFC playoffs. It's the 6th consecutive season they have made the postseason. Making the postseason is not really their goal. They've got their eyes on a division title and next week's opponent, the Miami Dolphins.
We didn't talk at all about it in the locker room about the playoffs. We just talked about getting ourselves ready for next week and be ready to go down to Miami and play them.
Chiefs got that W. That's all that matters. Jacob Blair, thank you. Doug is up next with a complete look at the forecast. And a bit later on, Oklahoma woman says she tested negative for COVID-19 multiple times despite having some clear symptoms for the virus. Going to hear what she has to say to others who question negative test results.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a pretty good Monday for us today. We had plenty of sunshine. Temperatures fantastic. A little bit above where we should be for this time of year as our temperatures went into the mid-50s after a pretty good weekend as well. As we look down the road, it looks pretty calm, at least over the next several days. We are going to start to warm things back up this week. I do think we'll get into the 65 to 70 degree range, which is well above where we should be for this time of the year. We're going to watch the storm system, which is going to come out by the weekend. Of course, you can always get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog, KOAMnewsnow.com. Look at our temperatures the past couple days, 50s, lower 50s yesterday. Cold start all the way down to about 28 this morning, but mid-50s, 4 highs during the daytime hours for us today. And we've dropped back a bit. Of course, it's dark. We're getting close to the very least amount of daylight that we have during the day. But it's 43 in Chanute, 45 in Miami, 45 in Anderson, Carthage at 46, Nevada is sitting at 43 degrees. But it looks okay. At least we are dry. Currently outside from our station, 47 south winds, 5 to 10 humidity is at 59%. Through the evening hours, we're going to slide back through the 40s, 30s, down near 30 later on tonight. So another cold night, but we're going to have those clear skies as we're just not seeing much going on here. We have a weak little wave that has been passing through. It gave us a few clouds earlier today, but besides that, we look pretty good. Any clouds, you got to travel off to the east across eastern parts of Missouri. So let's take a look out toward the west. Not a lot going on. That's our weather for the next couple of days, and then we'll start to see some changes. You can see that little spin out near southern parts of California. That system and then a system behind that will start to affect us late Thursday into Friday and then lasting into the weekend. In fact, let's go through time. We're a little chilly now, but we're going to warm back up, especially late tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. Nice big ridge of high pressure is in charge. By late Thursday into Friday, here comes that first little wave. It rolls out on top of us, but look at the system kind of digging in behind it. I think that's going to be the one that we got to watch even closer Saturday into Sunday. So we are going to have rain chances on Friday. May get some wintry weather behind it this weekend, just something we want to watch closely over the next couple days and see just kind of how these develop. For us tonight, though, it's going to be cold. We'll drop back near 30. Once again, clear skies across the region. So if you are getting up early, we'll start at 30. We'll warm through the 30s, 40s, into lower 50s by noon. And then I think most of us will top out 57, 58 degrees. So great day for us tomorrow, even warmer than what we did see today. Gets even better. Tomorrow night, pretty much clear skies, still kind of chilly. But look at Wednesday. We soar into the mid, if not upper 60s, Even on Thursday, we soar into the mid, if not upper 60s. So it looks great temperature-wise over the next few days. 57 tomorrow. Look at Wednesday, 68 degrees. 67 on Thursday. A little bit cooler on Friday with those rain chances and then cooling down for the weekend. But the next few days look fantastic.
Yeah. Overall, a great week. And hey, happy birthday, Doug Heddy.
Hey, I appreciate it. I stopped counting them about 10 years ago.
I've already gone to that point. Happy birthday, man. Thanks so much, Doug. Still ahead, going to hear why a Tulsa woman says she's relieved as she trusted her gut after having multiple negative COVID-19 tests. The Tulsa woman took multiple COVID-19 tests while experiencing symptoms, and only one test came back positive. Jamison Kiefover reports.
Don't trust a negative COVID test. If you have the symptoms, especially that loss of taste and smell, you have to stay home.
A message to others about inaccurate testing. Staying home to quarantine, although she tested negative 3 times for the virus, all while having symptoms, even losing her sense of taste and smell.
I immediately knew this is COVID. As odd as this sounds, it was almost like I was fortunate to have that symptom so that I knew for sure that I was doing the right thing.
She reached out to her primary doctor for a 4th test.
I said, what would you think about me doing another PCR test, but through your clinic? She's like, well, I don't know. We could try it, but really, usually they're pretty effective. I was pretty insistent, though. I knew in my gut I had it.
Going online to share her experience, on day 12 of having symptoms, she received her positive results.
Generally kind of a private person, but I thought, you know what? People really need to know that just because you test negative does not mean that you do not have COVID and that you cannot be potentially cause someone else to get it as well.
Although testing has become more common and a vaccine will be available soon, the Oklahoma Department of Health reminding everyone to do whatever it takes to stop the virus.
Everyone should continue to wear a mask, wash their hands, and watch their distance as ways to truly prevent the spread of the coronavirus.
And a reminder to stay home if you have any symptoms.
Listen to your gut. Know when you're sick and when you need to stay home. And just because you get that negative test doesn't mean that you're negative.
Again, that was Jamison Kiefer reporting. Final check of the forecast next. Take time now to honor a local veteran, Staff Sergeant Bob Huggard, the Dennis, Kansas native, served in the U.S. Army. We are proud to salute Staff Sergeant Bob Huggard. He's tonight's 4-state hero. Doug Heddy joining us now with our first look at weather. Yeah, you're rubbing those hands together. It's going to be a chilly night. You're going to need that jacket, but it is December, right?
It is. It's going to be cold tonight, all the way back to about 30 degrees for an overnight low, but it looks great over the next few days. Our temperatures are going to start to warm up. 57 tomorrow, but look at the 60s that roll in for Wednesday and Thursday. And then we're going to cool down a bit with some rain chances as we work into the weekend.
All right, Doug, thank you. Thank you for watching. Going to leave you tonight with a look at some Christmas decorations in Nevada, Missouri. Have a great rest of the evening. We'll see you right back here at 10.